Let's continue practice, as there are no questions. I have a couple of things in mind. Can you also notice that there's a lot of like this thick sleepiness in the group dynamic? Very thick sleepiness. Or do you feel sleepy? Let's ask it that way. How many of you feel sleepy? Put your hand up. Okay. So I have a couple of ideas for practice. So we'll just take it from there. Please align your body. Feel your body from the inside. Feeling the insides of the head, insides of the neck, insides of the chest cavity, there to both shoulders, feeling inside down the arms, all the way to wrists and hands, fingers. Then you can come back to the chest cavity, inside the chest. Feel the midsection, feel the belly, the gut, lower belly, down the back to buttocks, pelvic floor, genital area. Then feeling into the area of the hip joints, thighs, inside the thighs, feeling inside, not looking at it from outside, but feeling the thighs from the inside. There's a big difference there. As practicing meditators, yogis, and especially tantrics, we need to know the difference, so that we are feeling the body from the inside, not looking at it from the outside. Like if you open your eyes and physically with your eyes look at your thigh, either one, and then when you close your eyes and simply feel inside the thigh, that's the difference. Feeling the insides of knees, lower leg, legs, ankles, feet, toes. Feeling the body for the sake of all sentient beings, with all sentient beings. So we do practice to become Buddhas, or in understandable language, without Eastern terms, it means that we become existentially sober, clear-minded, settled, and kind-hearted. This is our basic nature. So our motivation is to realize and actualize, embody this basic nature of ours for the sake of all beings. It is kind of a revolutionary stand, isn't it? Of course, we want to also to end our own confusion, see through and get rid of all those narrow-minded, contracted mental and emotional states, of course we want to get rid of that stuff. But it is revolutionary to do it to help others as well as ourselves. So all beings included. All beings included right now. We have trillions of cells in our body, and there are trillions of beings outside our own body-mind. Whether it's inside our body-mind or outside of it, doesn't matter. Same basic nature. This is Dharmakaya, the body of empty phenomena, body of selfless phenomena, body of natural phenomena, and spontaneous phenomena. So what I would like you to understand as Pemako practitioners, as practitioners of this method of Pemako Buddhism, Pemako Dharma, I would like you to understand this experience we're having now. This is what we have, what I've pointed out, what I've defined is Bodhicitta. This compassionate motivation that we have that motivation of attaining Buddhahood for the sake of all sentient beings. This is understanding Bodhicitta is essential. And this is the pivot, the turning point, understanding of it, if you get it, if you understand the importance through this experience, because of this experience we are having, this has the power to reveal our Buddha nature, our basic nature in full. It is that important. If we don't get it, won't happen. Will not happen. Getting it, understanding it, because we are organic human beings, we are not mechanical engines or mechanical motors where you can just change something and then it's fixed. So because we are organic and elastic, pliable, that's why it can take time to get it. But I just want to make it clear that this is the essential point, whether we attain Buddhahood or not. This matter of compassionate motivation. Why? because that is what Buddha nature itself is. It is compassionate. So if we don't, as samsaric beings, if we are not compassionate, of course we are not going to see or grasp, recognize the Buddha nature either. That's how simple it is. And by doing this, we become part of the solution rather than being part of the problem. Meaning that there is endless confusion, pain and suffering in the world and in all worlds, all samsaric worlds, because of self-based confusion, because of thinking and feeling, perceiving in terms of me and other. Tremendous suffering is coming out of that. So what it means that we become part of the solution to fix it, to try to fix it, is when we seek to discover, seek to generate, seek to build something that is good for everybody and beneficial for everybody. This is Mahayana Dharma. So what you can do, if you practice whatever tantric practice you do, or if you are practicing Hatha Yoga on your own at home, what you can do is that you can remind yourself, for example, if you practice 45 minutes of Guru Yoga, so you sit down, you align your body, and then you express your motivation, and then you continue to Guru Rinpoche's mantra or say a prayer. Even when you have attuned to Guru Rinpoche's presence, you can generate bodhicitta. Remind yourself every now and then about that love and compassion, because it is a practice that actually affects your mind and body and emotions. It actually makes a difference. It's not only something that you do a lip service. And if you are concerned that, well, I'm not feeling anything, like I said, it might take some time. For some people it takes longer, for some people it takes shorter to start feeling it, meaning start getting it. Why are we concerned about all beings? Because they are in pain. Only somebody who has no ability for empathy, like a psychopaths, when they see an animal in pain in nature, for example, perhaps some animal in a trap, caught in a trap, of course you feel, that this living being is in pain and you want to do something about it. It's exactly the same thing. All beings in samsara, including the vast number of human beings, have the same pain and suffering because of their self-centralized thinking and feeling. And when we as practitioners, when we remind ourselves, when we practice bodhicitta, we turn this movement that, where the finger points at yourself, me, I, we start breaking that habit by letting it dissolve, by thinking about the spiritual welfare of others. How many people really do that in the world now, today? How many people have done it in the history? Not that many. But if we do, this opens our basic nature. It's like if you have when you buy a jar of pickle jar, and it's very tight, the what do you call it, the top is too tight. This is the magic mechanism that opens the pickle jar of Buddha nature. And there are so many people who, you can go to Buddhist discussion forums of different types of meditators, and this is the point that is very rarely understood. People can be fans of different doctrines, fans of different meditation techniques. It feels like this. I had a wonderful experience like that. I had this fantastic experience on retreat doing this technique, that technique. It's a technique, it's a discussion about external stuff. But very few people understand that it should all be based on heart, love and compassion. We should feel something. We should feel love of our basic nature, rather than just play chess in our heads about which technique is the best. All techniques fail if bodhicitta is not there. On the other hand, if bodhicitta is there, all techniques move mountains. That's how important it is. Who could deny the power of love and compassion? It's an obvious point. So let's do some practice for the sake of all beings. You can close your eyes. And then, especially, many people in our group have said that it's hot wherever you might be. It's summertime. So let's enjoy the cooling, soft rain showering down from the Bodhicitta bhumis, from above the head, down into the body, showering to the heart, showering to all limbs, showering to whole aura. So just opening for the blessings of the Buddha within to connect with the body, mind and heart. In terms of energy centers, this is the easiest and most powerful way to do it. There are Mahasiddha Bhumi centers inside the body as well, but when we reach with our attention outside the aura, outside the karmic body of 10 bhumis, this makes a notable difference. And there is no hurry. So we can marinate properly. For the sake of all sentient beings. So we are marinating all those trillions of cells of our body. Blood, bones, marrow, organs, heart, lungs, liver, kidneys, gut, all organs inside the chest and belly, brains, eyes, marinating the spine, the spinal canal, and what's inside it. Marinating all muscles, even the hair on the skin. So you can leave the shower on from above, and then also getting connected with the fountain from below. Opening up for the upward flow of energy from the bhumis below the body. Always we have to do this opening up and becoming receptive. There is no way to, if we talk about the Mahasiddha centers, high and low, if we don't connect, we will remain inside our samsaric bubble. This is why we always open up and become receptive. Become open and start receiving. And then when the click happens, when the connection is connected, then we can feel, oh, yes, there is a influx of wonderful, soft, light, loving, kind, clear energy. And this makes a shift in our minds. It puts on rest this self-based processing. For the sake of all sentient beings, for the sake of all sentient beings, All right, stay with it, lying down. Anything you would like to say before taking a break?
I mean, like with, you hear me?
What is that?
You hear me? Can you hear me?
Try.
Okay. With this exercise, it's like the in Bodhicitta, like it's feeling this interconnectedness, like you're sharing the same space.
Hmm.
Then there's Bodhicitta in terms of like relative Bodhicitta, which is generating,
Hmm.
generating, and then absolute. So you can kind of do generating first, and then absolute, and then after that again. Is that like pure perception? It feels like a natural. I felt like you can. Does this make sense? Like if it's three parts or something of bodhicitta exercise, like generating and then absolute bodhicitta and then your perception in terms of how you view others. Did that make any sense? Or
What is the question?
if it's correct, like if that's a valid way to
Oh, yes, 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 yes.
yeah.
Hmm. It is very much so.
Okay.
May I ask something?
Please.
Did I get you right that you told us it's not so urgently necessary to do everything right in the beginning, but the intention you have when you practice is most important?
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, that's exactly what I was saying. And what I wanted to add is that, in Pemako we have the path map of bhumis, the 13 bhumis. And, the main task is to purify the first 10, because the 10 are stained by, self-based notions, dirtied by self-based notions. So, like I said, that cultivating compassion, genuine care for others, using that as a motivation to become enlightened ourselves, then again to be able to help others and be example to others, to be able to assist others. When we have that motivation, in other words, it means that, that whole, like I said, if we don't have bodhicitta, then there will be a limited scope of progress. Limited scope of progress. This is the classical vehicle of Buddhism that ends there, because the motivation is to just liberate oneself. But we cannot. This is what it means is that if we only practice to liberate ourselves, to become free ourselves without being concerned of others, we will only come to know ourselves partially. So, in other words, when we cultivate bodhicitta, the whole, should I say, venue, or the way in front of us that has those advanced bhumis, that whole pathway of bhumis is available for us. So bodhicitta ensures that. And then when we do practices, especially dynamic practices, tantric practices, then we can easily just pop, 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 remove those self-based knots that are on that pathway of first to 10 bhumis. And when those bhumis open up, and when they start perfecting one by one, these are signs that our practice is correct. Yeah. Okay, let's take a break. Hour and 20 minutes. So 7 p.m. EET, we continue. Have a good break. See you in a bit.